Jessica's getting her lips painted.
Painted? That's not the term for that.
Sticked?
What is the verb? What is the...
I would just say, like, getting your lips done or putting lipstick on. Painted that's a new one. I've never heard that.
Okay. Can you guys tell me how you would start the show if you were me? I don't know where to start.
Today's my birthday.
I would start with Josh Allen being the best quarterback that I've ever seen.
Oh, my God, he's so good. Maybe the Dolphins and their consistent and forever mediocrity.
I don't ever want to talk about that team again.
Yeah, me either. I don't care about them, but it feels like the place we're supposed to start with South Florida show.
I'd start with the TikTok ban.
That's big.
What?
I'm going through some things personally right now, and it's just that they're banning TikTok. I don't want to get up in the morning. The sun's not shining as bright. The birds are no longer chirping. They're trying to take away our precious TikTok.
I would start with the Pop-Tart Bowl as a real toaster this year.
That's so sick.
That's awesome.
You have to plug it in? Or it's like on charge?
Plug it in,
I'll
plug it in.
investigate. I don't know if it's battery powered or not.
You guys haven't made fun of Mike yet for the Pop-Tart Bowl? You guys...
That's a very prestigious bowl.
It is a prestige bowl, Dan. Thank you, Lucy.
I think the name does plenty. The Pop-Tart Bowl. Like, you just can't feel good about that. Even if it's a prestigious bowl, you don't feel good about it.
I did it on social media, but I refuse to add him because I'm scared.
We're all a little scared of him.
I'm actually interested, Lucy, in the TikTok addiction. You are officially so addicted that if they take this thing from you, it is a source of stimuli. They're unlike any other, right? Because it's just it's the more aggressive addiction than any of the social medias, is it not?
It definitely is. Now, I'm very sad about the TikTok ban happening, but I have a personal goal to watch all the TikToks ever made before they get rid of the app. So it's just scroll, 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 scroll. I feel like I'm losing a part of me, and it's really, really sad.
TikTok is just better than the other ones.
It
you say it's the
is.
most addicting. It's just
It's
the best.
better. Oh my God.
It knows me. My TikTok knows me.
There's this great trend right now, and it's of this Muppet, and it's singing. It's singing "Like a Prayer" by Madonna. It's just people talking about incredibly embarrassing things that have happened to them. And there's this one girl, and she was talking about she's olive oil girl, and she put an olive oil hair mask in, and then all the olive oil like fell out, and she like fell in the middle of the night and set off their security alarm, and her dad came out, and he was super, super pissed, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry." And then the security alarm went off, so she went back to bed, and then a bunch of the cops showed up all because she did an olive oil hair mask.
And the water was out, Lucy, so she couldn't wash it out of her hair, and then she had to go to school with saran wrap on her head.
Rock and roll. You can't get that anywhere else.
The painted smile on Jessica's face as Lucy yammered.
Hit it.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I hear him chat from the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the walking. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls better tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. You can't go on, man, forget my peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east. I'ma put them in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man so tough, but man's keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls, better tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
We are awaiting Billy and Stugotz, who are going to bomb in from God Bless Football, getting out a lot of content early because football gave us so much to talk about yesterday. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, what I'm about to say. But I'm a little bit ashamed that the feeling that swept over me yesterday was a combination of, oh, my God, this is the coolest. 3 dudes have just straight up punched a football, just throwing punches on the field. They're knocking the football out. Oh, there's a couple of fat guy touchdowns. Isn't that delightful? And also a couple of guys dropping the ball right before the goal line, just giving away these touchdowns that all these people are fighting over while throwing punches. And in the middle of it, I'm like, Tua, don't run headfirst into anything. Tua, stop. It's not worth it. You're 6-7. We all see you're not that close. That team closer than you're close. Look out. Tua, be careful.
I love that character, whatever it is.
Well, tell me you didn't feel that. The announcers are doing it. Everyone's doing it. He runs in the open field. There, and I hesitate to laugh about this because yesterday Grant Dubose is taken off the field in a stretcher and he's shirtless and he's taking his helmet off and you're horrified. And then let's go out to Jacksonville, where the Jets are in the red zone.
Where Mac Jones is doing a spin move and then the Riz face celebration.
Mac Jones is doing finger guns. What's going on?
Dan, that voice sounded like you doing an impression of Charlie Kravitz doing you.
Inception of impressions. Kravitz, can you guys get me the sound of that? He does a good whiny me.
What are we going to do about that, by the way? Someone needs to put their foot down. He's just being straight up disrespectful.
Well,
now.
we've got beef. We've got legitimate beef, so we'll get to that in a second. I just didn't want to be too publicly offended in a way that,
I'll be offended for you.
Okay, help me there.
Damn you, Charlie.
I need the protection.
It's really funny.
In the middle of all that yesterday, so I'm watching over here. Here's a 300-pound guy doing a backflip. Over here, here's a Patriot. He is pantomiming doing a fencing move while he gets a flag thrown at his feet because he just horse-collared, and none of it counts. So, and I'm watching like all this dance of these the violent giants enjoying Aaron Rodgers rushing for 45 yards, 6 carries for 45 yards, enjoying the football of it all. And in the middle of it, there are the Miami Dolphins having us argue in a 6-8 season about whether the interceptions were Tyreek Hill's fault or were they Tua's fault as another season falls by the wayside with a Jason Sanders missed extra point. That now only makes me think of Billy. Do you know how funny it is that Jason Sanders exists as a guy who only makes all the field goals, all the 50-yarders, but misses extra points in a way that makes me think of you every time because you question him, even though he's great at everything but extra points?
I don't understand it because he really can't kick extra points for some reason, which are like the gimmies, but he'll hit every single field goal. And the thing about him missing the extra points is it's just like a slow bleed where then you're playing and you're like, oh, now we need a 2-point conversion if we even get the touchdown, and then we're pressing and then they don't get the touchdown, and they don't get it because Tua, every time he touches the ball, he's throwing interceptions, but it's actually Tyreek Hill's fault if you believe what it is that the Dolphins fans say, because no one wants to blame Tua for anything, which I'm starting to catch on to. But no, you couldn't blame him yesterday. I mean, that's Tyreek Hill's fault. I mean, 2 hands on the ball. If 1 hand's on the ball, you have to make the catch. 2 hands on the ball. How do you have someone take it away? Tyreek Hill might be washed.
What? No.
What?
Maybe
he didn't say it.
No.
Maybe they needed to trade him at the deadline and get anything you possibly can for him because he is not looking good right now.
Billy.
What?
Billy.
Hey, happy birthday.
Billy, you can't storm in here.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. That was very good. Hold on.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
I'm not good at birthdays.
Successful deflection.
How does one be good at a birthday? Because if you got older, so I feel like you checked the 1 box.
You understand why? Are you all good at birthdays? You all walk right into your birthdays and are just like, shower me with...
Yeah, I love praise, Dan.
I don't think there's a way to be good at birthdays. I think it's your birthday. You can cry if you want
Just
to.
by showing up. You're not dead. I mean, that's it. Happy birthday
Bare
to
minimum.
you, man.
Yeah,
you made
got
it.
it.
Yes.
Dead.
Yes. You're not dead. You're not dead.
You're not dead.
A wonderful, mortal, dark humor. Not yet, I'm not. You have not killed me yet by singing that instead of happy birthday, as you should have. Was there something planned for me? Because I got here a little late, and so I sort of ran through it, and Lewis threw a tepid happy birthday, and I thought maybe I missed what was supposed to.
What would you like planned for you, boss?
We just did it. I mean,
Billy, you cannot just storm in here after God Bless Football with Tyreek Hill is washed under your breath.
He didn't
I
say
didn't
that.
say that. I said happy birthday.
What were you guys doing over at God Bless Football? Were you doing that? Did you accuse Tyreek Hill of being washed over there? Because no one's doing that. No one yet has gotten to the trough of Dolphin football and quit so thoroughly on this season that you're already at Tyreek Hill is washed, and the newspaper columnists are writing, fire Chris Greer, which is not something, by the way, wait a minute, I haven't seen a lot of that in our market where it's just like, I have not, in our market, the newspaper people saying, fire the guy who runs the Dolphins. That I know that's common for the day, and everyone does it in sports radio, and we've made that comment on television, but the local newspaper columnists writing, fire the power of the Dolphins based off that game is all shouting, blow it all up.
Well, yes, yeah, no, and we I mean, on this show, we fired Chris Greer about a month and a half ago, so welcome to the party, newspaper writer. Come on, get with the times. Dan, you asked what we did on God Bless Football about this game. So we play a game called We Good on God Bless Football. Spoiler alert, you can check that out today. And here's how We Good works. Basically give you the score of a game and just say, we good? Like, we don't need to talk about that game. That game was just like a nothing game because, like, there's so many football games, but some of them are not good games. It's like, we good? So I snuck the Dolphins game into we good because I just didn't want to talk about the Dolphins game because I didn't like how that went, and it didn't make me feel good. So I said, you know what? We good? Dolphins 12, Texans 20. We good?
Okay, let's talk about all of this.
No,
I wasn't good.
We said we good. We didn't talk about it earlier.
I don't want to talk about the Dolphins. I want you guys, if you'd like, to run me off of the Dolphins. You may, because there is plenty that I do want to talk about from yesterday. I did not know that the eye gouge could be so successful that Myles Garrett would react like that, where I was thinking that his eyeball was on the field, like on the movie Any Given Sunday.
Right.
Like if you tell me that is how Myles Garrett reacts to pain, when I know he's probably pretty perpetually in pain. So if that guy's in that kind of pain, what the hell does that kind of eye gouge feel like?
Flop.
Everyone has their weak area. Maybe that's just his weak area.
I was watching. Honestly,
the eyes.
I thought he had a visor on his helmet too. I was like, "There's no way a finger got in there."
I think he came back on the field with a visor.
With a visor, I'm not
after.
certain there wasn't already a visor there. That was a flop if I've ever seen. He was acting like his eyeball fell out of his head and someone cut off his foot simultaneously. Like, how did that happen?
I do not believe he was faking it. How can you call Myles Garrett a flopping faker? How can you do that with a straight face?
I didn't say that.
You did say that.
I said happy birthday.
It's the only thing he said. I mean.
You continue to say things, careening in here from God Bless Football after doing We Good. I don't know if any game involving Jameis Winston you can skip past, because it's just so great to watch him do the sloppiest thing every time. And why would you throw that again, Jameis, into the end zone for an interception when we've basically eradicated that play from football? Everyone knows to get a field goal there. We are now shocked by all red zone turnovers, and Jameis is just like, no, I'm going to play like I did 4 years ago. I've learned nothing from 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, 5,000 yards. We went 7-9. They replaced me with Tom Brady. They immediately win the Super Bowl.
It's going to be a rough Hard Knocks for Jameis on Tuesday night. Getting benched at the end of that game for DTR. Ooh. Season's over for the Browns.
Yep.
Has been for
Been over.
what,
Yes.
3 months?
Been over. Yes.
Week 1? Is that when it ended?
You say...
But it was entertaining for a minute, Billy. You can't pretend like it wasn't entertaining for the last 3
But Jess,
weeks.
I like you as the person who declares when someone's season is officially over.
15
The
of
Dolphins
the
season ended week 2. Thursday
You know
Night
what,
Football.
Jessica? I am here for you being commissioner of that character, because I will tell you something. When she says when a season is actually over, I want to, as we now bury this Dolphin season, I would, although they're still in the mix.
They are.
Colt schedule is easy down the road.
Hang on a second. What did Greg Cody call the Texans? Very, very good?
Far from, very far from being a good team, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that what does that make the Dolphins then?
That's correct.
That's Tyreek Hill's
Further.
fault. Yeah.
Yes, Tyreek Hill might be washed.
Might be.
They're 14 games in on Blow It All Up. They are 6-8, and we have just lived over the last 2 months. Well, as soon as Tua got hurt, season's over. Beat the Rams. Rams are pretty good. We're going to get close in there. We're going to be close to 500. If Jessica wants to announce when a season's over, this is what I want to ask her. I'm watching the Giants yesterday, and I'm like, seriously? Boyle? Really? Tim Boyle.
I said the same thing.
No, but wait. So,
DeVito got hurt.
No, yes, we're in the portion of the proceedings of Giants football where they don't just bail on Daniel Jones, but that's right. Well, DeVito got hurt is where we are in the season. And so now Boyle's in the game. When was their season over? When was the Giants season over?
During offseason Hard Knocks when they got rid of Saquon. And Drew Lock, I think, was the emergency third-string quarterback, but they mentioned during the broadcast that he was in a walking boot all week. So if Tim Boyle...
He had a Thanksgiving, Drew Lock. Let's not pretend he didn't have a Thanksgiving Day game.
Put it on the poll. Did Drew Lock have a Thanksgiving?
My family did dinner during that game, Billy. I think America ate dinner during that game.
He got him right back in that thing. He made it competitive. It was the Cowboys, but got him competitive. Did you see Skylar Thompson got released also?
Jessica did not know what to do with your genuine enthusiasm about being able to spit. Drew Lock had a Thanksgiving.
It was 3 weeks ago.
It's the fact that Billy just careened into you there, Jessica, with genuine enthusiasm, wanting to talk Thanksgiving Drew Lock football. I appreciate why it is that would knock you off kilter. It's just so weird that all of a sudden, Billy cares deeply about football.
He did have one.
66% completion
Put it on the poll.
That's a Thanksgiving.
Let's not pretend Drew Lock didn't have a Thanksgiving. Yes
0
or no?
touchdowns, 1 interception. That rushing touchdown, though.
All right, Jessica. Now, I would be understanding if a Steeler fan came to me today and said, one game on the road, those are tough. We are still as good as Philadelphia. But that game right there is why I think Pittsburgh's not a real thing.
That's fine, but also George Pickens was out. Like, they also had a couple, big-time injuries on defense. I think the thing with the Steelers all season is, yeah, they're probably not as good as the Bills. They beat the Ravens, so I think you can say they can compete with the Ravens and beat them again, which they will play them this Sunday. But, yeah, they have games like that. That was, the most quintessential Pittsburgh Steelers road game where they were pretty flat in the first quarter. Then they started playing really well, had a chance to tie it late. Najee Harris fumbles it. They had 2 possessions in the second half of that game. That fumble was the game in the red zone, and that was it. They weren't able to score, and Philadelphia took a lead and then just ran out the clock.
That fumble was the game. They're down 17-10.
It was terrible.
And yeah, it's just a routine pitch, and the game falls apart for them.
But this is the problem. This is sort of the problem with the Steelers going to the trade deadline was they need another wide receiver. They got Mike Williams. He hasn't played a lot for them. He had one really great touchdown a few weeks ago in the first game that they had him for. But with Pickens out with the hamstring or whatever it is, the offense, they don't have that deep threat that is going to be a game changer for them. So yeah, it's tough for them to go downfield without him.
Well, when you say deep threat, I think, and I've erred in not getting to this before because I don't know how much Lucy cares about professional football, but I would think that anyone who cares about football, if I give them all of the information from the season and just sit them in front of the television set yesterday and say, watch this. Watch Buffalo play Detroit. This is the top of the sport. It's the best it can be done. And the single biggest surprise from that game is not to me that Buffalo won the game, Stugotz. It's like, oh, holy shit, I didn't know anybody could do that to the Detroit offensive line. I didn't know there was I thought Detroit was going to be able to run the football against Buffalo's defensive line. And now Ed Oliver's just knocking your center over and bothering you in the middle of the field. And all of a sudden, Goff looks like the guy, oh, look, it's not Dan Campbell's just going to punch you in the face and all rhythm and stuff. And then this team's got a centaur, an MVP as their quarterback, and Buffalo can just gallop up and down the field on anybody in the sport.
Last 3 games, Josh Allen, 17 touchdowns, no turnovers, no sacks. That's incredible.
It's the best stretch of quarterback I've ever seen. And I know you're going to do the thing of getting caught up in the moment. You did it handful of years ago with Aaron Rodgers. What I'm seeing right now, I've never seen better than what Josh Allen is doing the last few weeks.
It's the thing that I see in his expertise that is really wonderful to see is darts all over the place to Kincaid, and then you've got these tight ends just catching the ball with one hand, and it's because they're wide open and he's a little less precise. We've got a whole history of him throwing the ball a little bit inaccurately.
Yes.
And so
I know.
And so there are sometimes he will miss a wide open guy, and you're like, oh, the arm's too big. And it's like, I'm now used to every damn throw is this surgically precise that sometimes Josh's arm is too big, and he just gallops to the right, throws it 40 yards downfield to a wide open tight end, and he might have thrown it a yard too far. It's going to require a one-handed catch because they're playing a different sport than everyone else is playing. And their defensive line wrecked an offensive line that I did not think could be wrecked like that. And Detroit scored 42 anyway.
I do wonder when the Bills, and I agree with Chris, and I feel like it's Josh Allen's time, but they give up 30 points regularly, and the Chiefs never give up 30 points. The Chiefs haven't given up 30 points in a game in 35 games. Think about that for a second. I do wonder if the Bills have enough to get past the Chiefs, meaning the Chiefs are going to score on that Bills defense, right? I'm not certain how many points the Bills are going to score on that Chiefs defense.
I just can't believe we've lived long enough for the Mahomes offense. You already can see how Kansas City wins a game against Buffalo. They keep the ball all game with Mahomes running on 3rd and 4 for 5 yards. They do the 17-play drive. That's how you used to beat them years ago, Stugotz.
Yes.
Now they're the offense that needs the 17-play drive so that Josh Allen never gets on the field.
Why are you so convinced that the Chiefs are going to score on the Bills? What confidence do you have in the Chiefs offense this year? Because now we don't even know what's going on with Patrick Mahomes.
It's not so much the confidence I have in the Chiefs offense, it's the lack of confidence I have in the Bills defense. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's it. The Chiefs offense has not been great, and you're right, but the Bills defense also has not been great.
The thing about defense, Dan, is that it wins championships. So while this is fun for the Bills, it's going to be interesting to see if they can make a deep playoff run when they're giving up 40 points a game.
The weird thing about what the game does to the body that would make Billy whisper under his breath, Tyreek Hill is washed, and we've watched it. It's been amazing to watch what the Kansas City offense was when it ran through Tyreek Hill and how the field keeps getting shrunk in a way that eats up the physical bodies of Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. And they can't score 30 anymore. They used to be a team. It wasn't that long ago, Stugotz. I would have bet every game that they were going to score 30.
Yes.
They've done it against Carolina this year. And who else? One other team this year?
The Bucs.
The Bucs. And now Mahomes is limping, and now you want him to win a playoff game against galloping centaur of a guy.
They're going to. You know they're going to. They always do somehow. You know they're going to. I don't know how. I don't know why. You know they're going to. And you know Carson Wentz is going to play a role in one of these games too.
Oh yeah,
not against this Josh Allen. Not this time. Not
really?
This time. Not if he keeps playing the way he's been playing, dude. This team is scary. Josh Allen, he's smirking on the sideline. He has this confidence about him right now.
He knows he's going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah.
His face, man.
Now there are certain teams throughout NFL history.
Go on.
It gives you something. It just makes you smile.
Better. It's their time, and I'm kind of with Chris here. It's Buffalo's time. I knew it in '86 with the Giants at Phil Simms. I knew it was their time. It was their time. You knew it as well.
Last week you said that the Chiefs were going to stop Josh Allen from ever winning anything, and McDermott, he was never going to win with him.
Right.
And it's because Patrick Mahomes is going to keep him from ever winning anything.
This guy is so good. I'm telling you, he has the ability to overcome his head coach.
Okay,
Wow.
Stugotz, I am not. Look, I know you want to get all your takes off, and I know you weren't listening at all to what it is that Billy tried to sneak in the shadows there.
I heard it.
The happy birthday?
No. Billy saying, I don't know what it is about Josh Allen's face, it just makes me want to smile, is a 180-degree reversal from where he was as a Dolphin fan when he was shouting and yelling, Josh Allen has a stupid face, and then I want to put up billboards in Buffalo, Josh Allen has a stupid face, and Billy doesn't want to do that. He befriends Josh Allen, and right now the Bills are fertilizing the end of whatever the Dolphins were building to beat them. They crushed the division before any other team, and as long as Josh Allen is healthy, he beats you every time that he plays you, and now he's blossoming into this thing that doesn't have turnovers, that is well protected, that his offensive line protects him, the no sacks thing, the no turnovers thing. It's kind of giant for how they play football.
By fertilizing, you mean they're pooping on it,
That's
right?
what I meant.
Okay, everyone was confused. I thought
clarification.
it was like a manure reference. You're
Here's
a writer.
Here's
Happy birthday.
Yeah, but thank you. Here's what happened was
You're not dead.
I had already forgotten. This is what happened. I'll be totally honest, totally vulnerable. Here on my 56th birthday as I get old. Oh. Chris Cody told me immediately before the show, please no cursing for some reason or be judicious with it. And right out of the box, for some reason, I cursed. And then I now have that word echoing for the last 3 minutes back from when I said it. And now I did want to defecate there. And I wanted to say it, but I went fertilizer, and fertilizer grows stuff. And so I just got tangled up in the ways I was going to say that. Because, Billy, I got to be honest, right? Stugotz went straight into, I'm here for my Monday takes. I got so many of them. I just got an hour's worth on God Bless Football, but let me skid in here and get all my takes out here. And he just steamrolled Billy admitting that he has turned 180 on how he used to feel about Josh Allen.
I acknowledged it. I told him that's better. I mean, it is, right? We're trying to grow a relationship. Billy said to me, Dan, and I agree with him after we recorded God Bless Football, that the football season has been tough on our bodies.
So this is ridiculous.
I'm hurting.
I mean, it's a grind. 15 weeks in, it just don't feel the same.
All right, so you guys, I just want to be clear on.
My arm hurts.
All right, all right. I'd like to see if
I think I have a thing.
Yeah. Okay. let me see if I have this right. I just want to be clear. Are you telling me that what Meadowlark Media just produced with the award-winning God Bless Football was Stugotz and Billy, 15 weeks into 3 months of collision, saying their bodies hurt covering football because they have to keep driving into the studio to talk about football?
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Honestly, I've been feeling it since Thanksgiving week, but I powered through. When Drew Lock's playing that Thanksgiving day and you're trying to convince yourself he had a good game, then you come in, then there's a Black Friday game, and then there's big Saturday games and Sunday night, and then Monday you're like, oh, boy, this is wear and tear on my body I'm not sure I was used to.
If you don't think coming up with takes for Drew Lock, Dan, hurts your body, impacts your body, you don't know football.
Jessica, when was the Dolphin season over? We've talked. I mean, Chris, can we now? I mean, I've told Billy. I told him Green Bay is a show me something game. Houston's a show me something game. Beat somebody. Beat somebody.
Whoa, no, you got Thursday night. Hard Rock. Tua gets hurt. That was when the season ended. I was there. It was so hot out. That's how long ago it was. It was still summertime, Dan. It was terrible.
How dumb are we all, by the way? Like, just us as like a football viewing public and just like a society where everyone was like, man, the Jets and the Dolphins, I don't know if the Bills are going to overcome any of this.
Okay, well,
that's how the season started.
Some of us were not on that wavelength before the season started.
Stephon Diggs leaving. I mean, this team may unravel.
Some of us knew that the Jet situation was going to be a disaster.
Jessica, I think you would be right to say that you and Lucy, but all of you really, have endured unendingly lopsided Miami football talk that ends again another season with, here we go. Look, we don't even get to the cold December games that they break your heart because they can't play in the cold this year.
Dan, it's the easiest lane in the world for me to be like, haha, all the Miami sports teams suck. They're all going to lose. Because every year, even when they look like maybe they'll be actually kind of decent and I'm going to be eating humble pie at the end of the season. No, something stupid happens. They lose to Syracuse or Tua gets hurt.
Jimmy Butler's going to play every game this year.
It's the easiest lane in the world for me to carve out because this city has so many stinker football teams. I'm sorry. I don't wish they were good. I actually do have personal animosity towards all of them.
You guys know there's only been 3 starting quarterbacks to win the AFC East this century, and it's Tom Brady, Josh Allen, and Chad Pennington.
I love that.
He did it for 2 teams, the Dolphins and the Jets.
Yes!
It's the only way they could win.
It is kind of amazing that we've lived years of Ryan Tannehill and years of Chris Greer, and that Buffalo team that went 17 years without making the playoffs is now running roughshod over the league because their quarterback, who I once thought was terrible and said would never be an NFL quarterback, because he was, again, I keep saying it because I don't think people understand how ridiculous it is. It was a playoff game against Houston. His fullback was double covered 40 yards downfield, and he threw an interception. I'm like, they don't play football like that anymore. The way that you're doing it, they don't. That's Jameis Winston. Aaron Rodgers developed a new way to play. You do not turn the ball over. Like, that's not – the Green Bay Packers have a ball meeting every week. Like the whole sport is around like, do not lose the football. And then there's two guys dropping it yesterday before the end zone and 3 guys punching it out. Because what we're watching is ridiculous. It is so violent that, again, I skip past Stugotz because we're all horrified, right? Or are you less horrified because it's not one of the guys that you've heard of or one of the guys?
Oh, I was horrified. I mean, that was tough to watch, all of it. Yeah, seeing the players. Whenever you have the two teams and they're praying together, yeah, that was an ugly situation. Everyone had to be horrified by that.
But before you guys came in here, I was working on the character of horrified football fan who's watching Tua dive headfirst in the open field. Because you cannot tell me, Billy, that we're not watching him differently than we are every single other player who's playing football on Saturdays and Sundays. That there is no player you are watching football and yelling, "What are you doing? Don't dive head first into anybody."
He had that pick six. He got out of the way. You saw that.
He
right?
did do that.
Yes,
Yeah. Because here's the thing about Tua. When he goes on scrambles and he dive head first, you're like, man, this guy is just never going to learn. He's never going to learn until he throws the pick six, and you're like, look, he learned. I mean, it didn't end up being a pick six. They stopped it, but still, you're like, he learned. Look, he didn't go and try to throw his head into someone's knee for some reason.
That was a big play by
Progress.
Achane at the time for hustling back and getting him down before he scored a touchdown. But Tua was the closest guy and clearly wanted nothing to do with it.
Can I ask you a question about the injury real quick? Just because I was wondering, and I think that, and this is like a horrible admission, but I feel like we all kind of feel this, right? When the injury happens. So you see both teams are there, and everybody's praying, and then they do like the crowd shots because they don't want to show the injury over and over again. And like the crowd is like initially concerned, and then they're like, what else do we show? This is taking like a long time. We're like 12 minutes into this game stoppage. We don't know what to show. So they keep showing like the crowd shots. And as like every time they go and they show the crowd quickly transforms from like really concerned to like then like antsy to then like annoyed to then like, get this guy the F off the field. I want to watch more football and hopefully no one else gets hurt. And then they keep showing them like, guys, pick it up. We got to get this game going again. Like, you lose the crowd very quickly on these, and you can see it as the crowd shots keep going back to the fans.
Billy, there is such a cool thing that you just reminded me of yesterday that I'd forgotten about because Scott Hanson is great in the middle of all of this. His energy level for 7 hours, it's hard to keep it where he keeps it, given the intensity of everybody's excited about everything that's going on. Like we are, when Lucy says she's addicted to TikTok, what Sundays are just sort of an overriding flow of stimulus because you've just got so much action, gambling action and other action on things that are happening all over the field.
Hanson's body has to be hurting.
Oh, my God.
Scott Hanson yesterday is doing calls, and he's getting excited because as he's talking about and as we go out to Baltimore, you know, Mark Andrews could set the record for Ravens touchdowns with a catch here, and then it happens as he's throwing it to that. And so he meets that that moment with giddiness that he just got at that game and called the play that was the record-breaking play while stopping and going to other games. But he stopped dead in his tracks while calling highlights when he was seeing for the first time the footage of somebody, a bare torso being stretchered out, immobilized. He stopped in the frenzy of sprinting on the broadcasting treadmill of going from game to game, being excited about everything because he's in the middle of like this torrent of American Sunday action, like dancing on piano keys broadcasting because people are complaining on that channel, Stugotz. We're so addicted. I see them. A commercial snuck in there. I saw a commercial sneak in from some other game.
They were on the split screen in one of the games.
No commercial.
One of the games went to commercial, and they kept the sound on the commercial for like 8 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what is happening around here?
I like it when it happens because then I'm like, Scott Hanson, you're not better than me.
You think Scott Hanson gets the Saturday scaries? You know, like before his big work
That's
day?
a good question, Chris.
Even though it's a fun job a lot of people would want, it's stressful.
Work day is the key word. Day. I mean,
I think he does other things throughout the week. For
oh, you
NFL
think,
Network.
huh?
Red Zone does have ads now. They do have like ad things that they'll put up on the screen.
Yep.
It's not ad free anymore.
I think people are just learning that, though, from what I can see in terms of what's happening on the internet and commentary. People like complaining about things with their broadcasts, and we've gotten to a place in streaming that we want the stuff all undistilled. You can't give people no commercials and then give them commercials once we get used to no commercials, because and by the way, all of this exists for the commercials, a problematic position for the streaming companies, because they're going to need to put commercials in so that we can all afford all the things we're fighting over. Because
They do. They've just started that, where in the last few years, all of a sudden it was you were paying one price and you didn't have commercials, and then it's, hey, if you don't want commercials, now you have to double the price. And if you pay the same price, well, you're going to get commercials now. And all of us went, okay, well, how much can I afford? And then it's 7 different streaming services.
Right. And they're not doing it because they need the money. They're doing it because they can. Because
Yep.
they know you're going to pay and they can make ad revenue from it. One thing that I discovered on Googling facts about the Super Bowl this year. Do you guys know this is Super Bowl LIX, Super Bowl Licks?
Wow.
Licking it.
Super Bowl Licks. In New Orleans.
I did not know
discussed
that.
that yet.
How do we get this off the ground? I'm just noticing this for the first time. One of the Super Bowls.
Super Bowl Licks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like when Super Bowl Live was in Miami, and everyone was like, we're going to go to Live after Super Bowl Live. What do you do after Super Bowl Licks in New Orleans?
You're right.
There is a whole ad campaign that we can do around that. Scott Hanson got so comfortable yesterday that Stugotz, in that Colts-Broncos game, which shouldn't be any way interesting because neither of those teams are going anywhere.
Whoa.
Fine. Get into the playoffs, you will win nothing.
Whoa.
Get those teams both out of my life.
Wow. I think Denver's pretty good. Anyway, go ahead.
I do too,
Yep.
but not quite good enough. And yesterday they won because Jonathan Taylor
Yeah.
is dropping the ball before the goal line. And I'm like, you have to be kidding me. There's no way this is still happening in this league. There's no way that people fight this hard for the touchdowns and then can't still hold it for another half yard. How is that possible that Jonathan Taylor has to get to the preening? In the middle of that game, one of the things that changed is, holy shit, the Colts are doing some sort of fancy razzle-dazzle where they throw it back to Richardson and it's picked off. And Hanson yells, because Nick Benito's is the one who had a pick six there, and he jumps into the end zone by the goal line like Marshawn Lynch, grabbing his balls, and Scott Hanson says, you can't grab the Benitos. That's a penalty. That's going to be a penalty. I didn't know that grabbing the Benitos was a penalty. Is it now a penalty?
It's a penalty, yeah.
Always? Because I've seen that done at the goal line just as much as I've seen guys drop the ball at the half-yard line.
So the refs got together, and you could see them smiling and laughing because he's like, hey, how do I deliver this this penalty? But it's a penalty. How do I say it to the crowd? And they settled on something. It was funny to see them laughing
Was it
about
like
it.
inappropriate gesture?
Yeah, something
So
like
again,
that.
For history's purposes, Marshawn Lynch breaks the biggest run, most violent run in the history of the sport. Breaks 11 tackles, runs through the end zone, and we all agreed at the point when he dives backwards and grabs his balls. Yeah, you deserve that. You should have done it. Enjoy yourself.
Yep.
You did. You ran through 11 people. And since then, people have copycatted it. I just didn't know it had become a legitimate NFL jurisdiction
You can't do
penalty.
anything sexual. Even though they're going to name the Super Bowl Licks, you can't do anything sexual when you celebrate.
It would be funny to see the ref do the personal foul, and then he like mimics what he did.
Did you guys see the ref this weekend do the salute to the military before the unnecessary roughness penalty?
What was the reasoning for that? What was the backstory on that?
He just did it, and then he pointed. It was like an
It's what you do.
unnecessary roughness on like a kickoff or something, and then pointed to the wrong team and like the wrong side. So he made this big deal to salute, and it was so funny because all the comments were like, "Well, it's Army Navy." No, it wasn't. That was not the Army Navy game.
Lucy, you sat out. I don't know why you did. Billy and Stugotz saying aggressively that 15 weeks into the NFL
I was so
season,
mad.
their bodies hurt because they've been on the couch.
So mad.
It does hurt. I'm not gonna lie.
But Lucy has been on planes she has not been home very much. She is flying a lot.
16 straight weeks. I try to abide by the if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. and I had some very not nice things to say.
Man.
I'm so tired. Get over it.
Lucy,
We did two plane trips. We did. And a trip to Dolphin Mall, which really, I think that's where it started for
And
me.
3 if you count opening kickoff.
Wait,
so.
Lucy does God bless with you guys too on Mondays.
I do.
So she does
Yeah.
all her traveling
Yeah.
I have to
and
get up
God
early.
bless.
And I
Sometimes
have
it's
to fly
from
to the
Zoom, though,
Charlotte
so.
airport to the Miami airport. 2 awful airports. And I live an hour and a half from the airport. So I have to drive an hour and a half to the worst airport ever to fly to the other worst airport ever. And guess what? I fly American, and they never have live TV on the planes. They never do. And sometimes they don't even have Wi-Fi on the planes. You can't even watch a movie.
Dolphin Mall.
But
counts
you're
as a flight.
tired. So am I.
wow, you really ran Jessica off the road there with your rage.
I'm not mad at her. You're lovely, Jessica. Please continue.
Lucy, I miss you.
I miss you.
Sad.
if you are not listening to God Bless Football, you should be, because the chemistry that Stugotz and Billy have is real and it is funny. And I just witnessed it during the break when Billy did something, and I'd like to know what it is because I could hear the echo of it in Stugotz's loud headphones. But he was saying things that were making Stugotz jiggle. This body that hurts after 3 months of hard covering football was making him jiggle with delight because of whatever it is he was saying. I think I could hear about Jason Sanders. I don't know what you were tickling Stugotz with, but was it that you're now associated with Jason Sanders' failures because you're the loudest public enemy of this man he's ever had?
I'm very aggressive there.
Take it easy.
Well, you are the national face for criticizing Jason Sanders, not trusting Jason Sanders, doubting Jason Sanders. There's no one in the history of the American media that has done it more than you publicly and had your name attached to it.
Well, I mean, in fairness, I think most people just don't think about Jason Sanders.
Yeah.
That was probably rude.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to the Sanders family.
Yeah.
You've been
Right.
great at field goals. Extra points, you're horrific.
Mm-hmm. So Billy tweeted out yesterday, and I just saw the tweet because Sanders had just missed an extra point. Billy simply tweeted out, Sanders, with 3 exclamation points.
I told him, and then, we'll break the fourth wall here. I told him, I was like, as soon as he misses, I always have to run and just tweet something out right away because I know that it's coming. It's people
It's
are
a
going
burden.
to,
It's now
they're
a
going to
burden.
associate it. I'm like,
I hate it.
poor guy. I mean,
It's
he's
a
probably
burden.
not a high right now. And if he's on the sideline checking Twitter for whatever reason and
Well,
he sees me tweeting about him, it's weird.
know what?
By the way, you mentioned God Bless Football. You can vote for us right now for Best American Football Podcast. Go to sportspodcastgroup.com. Vote for us. This year, tough competition. We have the New Heights podcast. We have Mina Kimes there.
Oh, boy.
We have Club Shay Shay's there.
What?
And 2 of the Simses are in there doing something. So it's actually Nightcap is in there. And then the offensive line with Annie Yeager. There's a lot of stiff competitions here, so we'd appreciate your votes. Go on,
2
Dan.
Simses?
Yeah, it's not Chris. It's Matt and Phil.
Yeah.
They have a podcast together.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's weird.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
I mean,
They call
Chris-
it The Sims 2.
Yeah.
Sims complete. But
Yeah.
it's actually incomplete because they're missing the one Sims people
I mean,
care
Chris
about.
doesn't care. Chris endorsed ours.
We actually had Chris Sims come on and endorse our podcast over his own family's last Friday. So going to get that video put
That's
that
right.
out.
God
Yeah.
bless football. They have the Sims that only football fans want.
Not Dolphins fans. They hate him. Oof. People hate Chris Sims. It's weird.
Yep.
He is exceptional on God bless football.
He's all right.
No.
No, that's perfect.
He's exceptional, and he comes on knowing he's exceptional, and I've got the tattoo of Kyle Shanahan to prove it. I really know my stuff. We're best friends. I know how football's evolving. I'm a great analyst. He absolutely is, and then Billy undercuts him because Billy's the Duke.
Yes, but our audience loves that. They love the dynamic between Billy and Chris Sims because Billy really gets under his
It's
skin.
funny.
All right, gang. Enough about me. It's Dan's birthday.
It's funny.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not dead.
I'm not good. Yes, not dead that's what Stugotz has been saying. In fact, it's been a combination of not dead and when I was walking out there and somebody asked me, "How's your birthday?" Stugotz answered, "Getting older." And it's like, yeah, true for all of us.
It doesn't stop. I
Pretty
mean-
much a universal truth. That's right. Getting older. All of us.
Sucks.
It's the one thing we all agree on. The one thing. There are no other things. We are all in it together, getting older. Yep, that's what we're doing. One of the days is happy. The rest are just getting older.
Better than the alternative.
That's what you say.
Benjamin Button.
Dead. That's the alternative. And you're not that.
And
We
you're not.
established it.
Yes,
Yeah,
celebrate.
congratulations.
Congrats, Dan.
Birthday.
You're
So
not
you're
proud of
not
you.
dead. There it is
The
again.
alternative.
Well,
Please
so
don't.
Billy brought up.
Please don't have an accident today because this would be horrible
Oh, my
timing
God.
for all of us. Oh, it
boy,
cost us all
yes.
our careers.
But you'd get aggregated, and that's probably what you want for your birthday, right?
Only if
true.
he's in costume, Lucy.
No, then never mind.
If you want to get aggregated, you got to go on air.
What?
Like, you got to go.
Like just
Like die on
Die
air.
on air.
Yes.
Imagine the clicks.
Right.
Okay. So now would be a good time to do that.
No,
No.
Please
no.
don't.
No.
not after we just chanted. You're not dead.
Right.
preferably
Give it a
when I'm not on
week.
the schedule.
Make us look bad.
Billy, in the middle of that, shouted and got Stugotz's attention. This delighted Stugotz so much because in the middle of your football Sunday, there was a play in Texans-Dolphins that Stugotz was going to make matter or something because Achane chased down at the 6-yard line.
Big play.
And turned a short touchdown on a Tua interception into just a field goal.
That's hustle.
And he was and Stugotz was ready to make hustle, the determined spirit of the Dolphins roaring back to in the mix. And in the middle of that, I, not unlike Billy, who has his own Sanders, and I've got to admit it, I'm jealous of it, was hoping that when people saw Tua running away from the pick six like a coward, he's doing the Dan. He's doing that thing Dan has recommended for 15 years, which is when a quarterback throws the ball that he just run off the field because it's too dangerous out there. Get off the field.
You were so proud of him,
Don't run on the yes, I was proud of Tua. Yes. Because earlier in the game he had made me say when he dove head first, "No! Tua, what are you doing? You dum-dum. Stop. Slide."
We're all doing the same thing. That's crazy.
Yes.
I've never watched an athlete like I'm his mother.
It's like a guttural reaction. Ah! You just make a noise.
But he throws a near pick six, and you're cheering for Tua because he's not tackling the guy.
It's always like oh boy. Oh, here we go.
What is going on?
The crazy thing about it is that like Cam Newton has said it, and obviously have very different body types. Like Cam Newton is a monster of a man. Like he is huge. But Cam Newton has said that he can't go a day without people bringing up him not diving to get a fumble during the Super Bowl. And if it was Tua, we'd be like, no, precious boy, don't go over there. Run away from that ball.
Stugotz is so right in that I'm more proud of Tua when he doesn't get in the way of someone returning a potential pick six than when he completes a 50-yard bomb to someone. It's such a better feeling to watch him not die on the field than to do something spectacular.
He's not dead.
He's not dead.
Too soon.
All right, I got to be honest with you, okay, because it's weird. It's just we are watching him in a way that is so paternal that I'm not kidding when I say I'm watching all the rest of football. But there was only one play yesterday that felt to me like somebody running alongside but out of the way of the running of the Bulls.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, get out of the end. Like, it was like watching Tua in uniform just run safely away from the running of the Bulls like we want him to, like he should, like he needs to.
I feel like Tua's my son.
Same.
What are we doing?
And then you look at Josh Allen.
Oh,
and he's
he doesn't
just like
care. Yeah, he doesn't care.
The most annoying
Those
play.
eyes.
Doesn't care.
The pocket breaks down. It's like, okay, keep him in the pocket. You don't do that. He gets out of the pocket. It's like, okay, he's running to the sideline. He's going to run out of bounds. He's going to throw it away. Nope. Across his body, darts it 30 yards for a 45-yard reception.
It is weird to see Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen play that way. Yes, where everyone else has to, where even Patrick Mahomes is eking to 13 or 12-1 on his knees, and every game is I need to run for 6.5 yards on 3rd and 6. I need to
Scamper. No one scampers like Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah. But it's crazy that
it's a good scamper.
You guys are agreeing with my analysis on what the Chiefs have become. Is it used to be Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, and now it's just can Mahomes get us 4.5 yards on 3rd and 4?
And hey, defenders, once he passes the line of scrimmage, you don't have to fall for that deke. He always is like deking somebody.
Easy for you to say, though.
I'm just saying, it's like I know I would be bad at that, but hey, linebacker that's done this his entire life, learn.
Billy, you were excited in the middle of that Texans game until which of the Tua interceptions broke your heart as the guy who 2 years ago bought a Tua jersey because you want to believe in this team, and again another season I think you're willing to say falls at your feet or in the mix? 6 and 8 in the mix.
I mean, they're still on the graphic there, but so are the Bengals. Now, the Bengals.
Someone has to be in the graphic, Billy.
Is really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Colts are in the graphic.
They have to be.
Okay. Well, I'll say this, and I'm going to go on record and say this, Dan. Where's my camera? Look this way. Dolphins have an uphill battle if they want to make the playoffs. And that's as far as I'm willing to go.
Been uphill all season.
Yeah. So you ask which interception broke me. It's a good question because I was in a group chat with my brother-in-law and my cousin, and I texted them, and I said, "This is the drive, boys." And then they threw an interception. And then the next one I said, "This is the drive, boys." And then there was another interception on the first play. And I was feeling bad, Dan, and I was actually texting you during the game while this was going on, and I said, I think I'm going to have to start looking into this situation because it seems as though this might be Tua's fault. And I know no one wants to blame him.
You know what? I'm sorry it took me this long to get here. And yes, because, Billy, thank you. You were trying to produce me from afar by just simply texting me, and I should have taken the cue, and I'm sorry I didn't. That you were now investigating everything with Tua.
I was just what I said was, quote, and I apologize in advance because I just need to apologize. I said people might be right about Tua. ... I'm investigating.
So we're at the stages of Billy Gill, the Duke, number 4 internationally ranked insider, is officially investigating whether we know enough about football to know whose fault the 3 interceptions were yesterday, Tua's or Hill's.
Yeah, so at 3:44 I texted you, I'm investigating. And at 4:18 I texted you back, investigation over.
Wow, that was quick.
It was Tyreek's fault. And it's based just on one tweet from @CKParrot that said, given Mike McDaniel made clear in his halftime interview that Tyreek Hill was not where he was supposed to be on that first pick off by Kalen Bullock, we know Tyreek was at the center of all 3 interceptions. And I said, you know what? Good enough for me. Tyreek's fault. He's washed.
He's washed. It was also Tua just forcing the ball to Tyreek Hill.
That third interception, you get 1 hand on the ball, you're supposed to make the catch. You get 2 hands on the ball. I don't even know what the saying is. But you're not supposed to let them come and just rip it out of your hands. That's not how football works.
Shame on me, I think. It's 2 hands on the ball.
1 hand on the ball, shame on you. 2 hands on the ball, shame on me, and maybe a personal foul.
All right. Can I also can we laugh for just a moment on the idea that there is a penalty for jumping through the end zone to honor Marshawn Lynch, who deserved to celebrate that way after the single greatest, toughest run in the history of professional football? That if you were to penalize that you should also penalize that throughout my football Sunday, I saw giant men winding up from miles away to just throw punches at footballs directly, that one of them hit a chin on the way to its football, but that you just have giant men out there now just throwing giant punches. And in at least 3 of the games, Nick Chubb dropped one of them, and he never drops the football. And so I'm like, we're good with that? We're good.
Punching it out, yeah.
No, if they were sexual punches, then that would be a different story.
We're good with guys just running across the field and punching people as hard as they can, and sometimes they hit the football, and sometimes they're going to hit you on the chin. We're good with that, yes?
I mean,
if you hip thrust while you're doing it, and then it's also after the play.
15 yards, yeah.
That's no sexy stuff. But Super Bowl licks, I'm investigating.
Okay, all right. So I need both of these investigations to continue throughout the show today.
Billy's
please.
is done. I mean,
mine's concluded, and nothing's ever to his fault. Case closed.
Did you guys enjoy or care about the Heisman Trophy going to Travis Hunter? We spent the season talking about, we love doing this, MVP of football, most valuable player in college football. And Cam Ward, we spent the season talking about him. And then Travis Hunter, first of all, in the streets, Shedeur Sanders is throwing a football in the cold in the New York streets with neighbors because Shedeur Sanders is about to dominate the draft. And so is Travis Hunter.
Malik, not actual neighbors of Shedeur, yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, someone needed to clear that up. Yeah. I knew about it because Giants fans were getting aroused, but...
That's correct. It was in the streets of New York, but Colorado in some ways, and these 2 players have resuscitated a program, and Travis Hunter just won a Heisman over a running back who'd had a better season than the last 3 Heisman-winning running backs. Yep. And it's right to be heard about, like, okay, I get it, but I thought we usually gave the award on merit, not, oh, this guy's more unique than I am, and therefore that's more valuable than what I did at Boise State.
Do you have a vote, Dan?
I do.
Do you ever reveal who you voted for afterwards?
You're not supposed to. Yes.
I think after you can, but before you can't, right?
Just
Yes.
whisper it.
No, but I'm allowed to.
Were you one of the
after.
6 first place
Yeah, I
votes
can guess.
for
When I
Cam
saw
Ward?
6 for Cam Ward, I said I know one of them.
You want
Dan,
Billy to say it in that
Poppy.
voice, or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
But you don't have to tell us. I'm just curious if
No,
you
I
wanted
am
to
one
share.
of.
text
I
me.
am one of the 6 votes for Cam Ward.
Big shock.
Yes, I am.
Who'd you have at number 2?
The Boise State kid.
Oh, wow.
How much did Mike pay you to
Shador.
vote for
Where is
Cam
he?
Ward?
3? Where's Shador?
Travis Hunter was 3rd.
Wow.
thought
Where'd you put
Shador-
Kyle McCord?
Shador got 1 vote for first place, I think.
You would have thought that would have been me.
No, I don't know. Maybe put him.
Maybe.
I don't
you
know.
know.
While we're talking Heisman, I want to play a clip from our show. This is from September 16th, week 3 of the season, when Travis Hunter was plus 3,500 to win the award.
If we're being honest, the Heisman Trophy should go to Travis Hunter. He's the best receiver in college football and the best cornerback.
Stugotz was right.
Thank you.
Holy Stugotz was right.
It's God bless football. It's a religious service. It's that's what it is. It's a religious service. If they have won you so much money this year, if you have been taking, if DraftKings does all this number breakdown, all these serious Ross Tuckers running around, they know the things that you think you need to know, but they're not killing it gambling the way that Billy and Stugotz are. How did Big Board Bets and Stugotz? Sorry, how'd that do this weekend?
So Big Board Bets is a Monday thing. There's 2 Monday night games, and Dan, 2 Monday night games means we get the BB, the bonus board. So we do both games. So there should be 6 picks, but I couldn't make a decision on the first game. So there's 4 picks for the first game, 3 picks for the second game, and I have a weird feeling where I should be feeling confident. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know about this one, which isn't how you should be kind of presenting all of these picks, especially when you're doing well. But I'm like, I don't know. And I'm going to give you a quick spoiler alert. In my second game, I did some deep dives, and I took the under on punts for the game.
So here's the thing, okay? And I hurt for Billy on this. Now that there's pressure on these, Billy wants to do this quietly. Billy does not want everyone expecting to win or lose money with Billy's knowledge.
Big board bets, yeah.
But if
Brought to you by Bookie.
you're going to force him into the corner, then he will take great care in the analysis and try to actually figure out how to win these bets. He's not him and Juju are
He
not
cares deeply.
are not doing this casually, and it hurts them. They don't want to lose your money. They don't want to be doing this. We forced them into a corner by signing with a gambling giant. Our sugar daddy pays for everything. So Billy, Juju, we need you to do the bets. And now Billy goes out there, and people are losing money if Billy loses. But 2/3 of the time, Billy ain't losing.
If you have followed Billy and you have followed God Bless Football and all the picks that we've made, you have had a hell of a season. I'm serious. Like, Billy's on fire. I was 3-3 yesterday. I have the Vikings and Falcons coming up tonight. But I am 64, 41-2 on the season. Now, listen, I'm losing money because I buy so many points, but I am 64, 41-2 on the season, and I believe Billy's like 42-19. That's
41
ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm in the weird position where people from work are texting me now, like, "What's the play today?" And I'm like, "Whoa, like, what are we doing?" But I did give away a lock of the year privately yesterday.
Wow, did you?
Yeah, it was the Bills Lions over. Come on, I mean, lock of the year. Everybody knew that. Jeez, everybody knew that was there. Stevie could have seen that.
That game, there was no close second, right? I mean, I know the Saints and Commanders sneak in there, and all the games are great. Jets, Jags, it's all asinine. The fact that all the games are close and you're interested in everything, and the difference between the Commanders being, the favorite, and losing a game where you're like, really, Spencer Rattler? Really? That's what's going to change everything around for you? But getting back to the Heisman, you guys were good with Travis Hunter?
Yeah, I was fine with it. I mean, if I had a vote, which I don't have one, I don't know how one goes about getting one, but I'm interested if anybody who has that power is listening. I would have voted for Genty, but it's also like I think you just have to look at it in the sense that Ashton Genty's had one of the best seasons we've ever seen for a running back in college football. Like, he was so close to breaking Barry Sanders' record, and he sat out a lot this season because Boise State was blowing people out. It just happened to happen the year that there's a generational talent playing on both sides of the ball. I think either of them would have been a great choice. I would have voted for Genty, but it's hard to look at Travis Hunter, what he's done, the fact that he's playing two positions and playing them both incredibly well, and say that he doesn't deserve the Heisman. I think it was exciting to have a vote where it felt kind of close, though, where you really didn't. I think we kind of knew that Travis Hunter was going to win, but like, it wasn't just a blowout. We know Jaden Daniels was going to win last year, and so I'm fine with it either way.
It was the closest vote, I think they said, since 2009. So it was, even though Travis Hunter got the majority of the first place votes, it was very, very close, Lucy, to your point. So I'm with Lucy. I thought both were deserving. I think voters have different criteria when they vote. But like Travis Hunter's ability to play on both sides of the ball kind of puts him in a space where you can't really just compare his stats, especially because he plays defense too. Or he had 4 interceptions. He had like the 4th best coverage grade of all cornerbacks on PFF this year. Quarterbacks had terrible passer ratings against him. Like, those are hard to compare against, like, over 2,400 yards or whatever it was and 30 touchdowns what Genty had. So it's hard to compare because he's playing two different positions so well. But I thought both would have been deserving. I don't know who I would have voted for. I think it just comes down to how you vote for the player, which is the criteria is what, Dan? Like, most outstanding player. It's pretty vague. Like, you could kind of. You voted for Cam Ward, so you didn't have either of them. So everyone kind of has their own thing they vote for.
You guys obviously love college football more than like the rest of us do. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn in saying that. Is it like was it appointment viewing for you on Saturday? Because like I'm wondering if it's a situation of if things have changed or if I'm just getting old. Because I remember like the Heisman used to be appointment viewing. You'd have to sit down, you'd watch it, and then right afterwards they'd debut like a premiere of 30 for 30 that you wanted to watch. And it was like a whole spectacle and a whole day's worth of things like leading up to who's going to win the Heisman and then what am I going to watch right after.
Used to mean something.
Yeah, and like again, it could just be me getting old and reprioritizing things, but like I just kind of like checked on my phone with 10 minutes to go in the ceremony and I'm like, I'm going to see who wins that way, and I watched it on my phone.
Yeah, I tune in with like 20 minutes left because it's an hour-long program and you don't find out the winner till late. Like, I watch enough college football that I know their backstories. I've seen the clips from their families. I've seen the game day specials. So, like, I don't necessarily feel like I'm seeing a whole lot. And it's also, like, half of it's just them going through all the Heisman winners who showed up. I said, I saw you last year. It's cool.
All the handshaking, the line of Heisman. I don't watch the show. I'm still, like, interested in the Heisman debate and the voting and everything like that and the players themselves. But, like Lucy said, like, I don't need to watch the show because I was at dinner and I just like saw the notification on my phone. I was like, oh, cool, he won. Okay.
I did think it was cool that Lil Wayne was there. I think everyone should be able to bring a celebrity with them. And it was so funny because Travis Hunter won and was like, I've actually never listened to Lil Wayne before until recently. And you're like, well, he's here with you at the Heisman ceremony.
But thank you for being here. I did enjoy that part of it, Dan, Travis Hunter, because you see the glitz, you see the jewelry, you hear all the stories, him and Shador doing whatever they want, running amok over Colorado in that program. I saw a different kid than perhaps was portrayed to me throughout the last 2 seasons. It's so great when you learn about a kid after he wins the Heisman and they step up and they make a great speech. And I learned so much about him in that spot. His speech was phenomenal. He is a great public speaker. He's not afraid of it. He thanked everyone, thanked his dad. It was very emotional, and I enjoy seeing that. I still enjoy seeing that with my sports.
Well, I mean, you've got somebody who's under a helmet, who's a star, who then takes off the helmet, and in much pomp and circumstance with voters and handshaking and everything else, we still anoint, as if it matters, here's the king of college football. You asked me what my criterion is, because certainly you can accuse me of being a homer for voting for Cam Ward. My thing was, that team wouldn't have been any good without him. Like, we would not have spent the entire season talking about that offense, best statistical University of Miami quarterback I've ever seen, and that's the reason that I voted for him. But I am wondering, while I get into the merits of the argument with you guys, if I shouldn't just figure out how to hand over my vote to Lucy and Jessica and Jeremy.
Then do this again, huh?
And Mike Ryan, the same way that your dad hands over the vote.
Well, you can't give it to 3 people, so we're going to have to have a competition to see who
Choose
wins.
one.
Not Mike.
Obvious.
Yeah, gives money to a program.
But Jessica just said she didn't know who she would vote for, which surprises me if she enjoys the argument.
Well, because I don't have a vote, so I don't really have to sit and think about it too much. I would also add that I don't think Boise State would be in the playoff if it weren't for Ashton Genty.
Agreed.
He had a just absurd season. I think the one thing that really sucks about him losing is that I feel like it, maybe sends a bad message about the sort of season that you would have to have as a group of 5 player to win a Heisman Trophy award. I think that kind of stinks, to be honest, but I also don't think that like you should vote for him to send a message or prove a point or something like that. Like I genuinely think both players are worthy of a first place vote.
My favorite Ashton Genty stat, and there are a lot of them, is that if you just counted his yards after contact, he would be the second leading rusher in the nation behind himself. That's crazy. It's like, I wish that, like, I think he is a little bit at a disadvantage playing for Boise State, obviously, for a few reasons. One of which being that, it's not as easy to find on TV and it's West Coast, so it's late at night. But, like, what he did is literally insane. Like, he had a season we're not going to see again for a long, long time. And I think Jess's point is so great that it's like, if you could do all of that and still not win the Heisman, like, it's tough. But it's also like he lost to Travis Hunter, someone who very much also deserved it.
Also, I would have voted for Riley Leonard if I had a vote. But I'm not a homer.
Now there's another big story in the college world that we haven't even discussed yet, and it's very impactful down here, and it's Nevin Shapiro has paid his debt to society. He had his sentence or his whatever commuted, so he's done now. So I think the big question is, since he's paid his debt to society, does you welcome him back? Like, bring him some money? Granted, $930 million Ponzi scheme. I'm sure some of that's still laying around somewhere. Do we bring him back now? Like the University of Miami? Not we. They bring him back?
Have you guys read anything interesting about this story that is Nevin Shapiro? You guys were all as surprised by this as I was, where we're like, wait a minute, what? Biden did what for who, for why, for where?
Do we have the answer as to the why of it?
Okay, but have you guys done any follow-up reading, or it's just like Biden pardoned the Ponzi scheming?
Well, he commuted. He basically, I think it's just time served now. Like, you're done.
Yeah, I think he commuted the sentences of like 1,000 plus nonviolent offenders. So I think he was in that batch. I don't know if there was like a specific reason or connection. That if that exists, I haven't read about it. But
so just okay, time served. It's fine. Never mind
like
about
Blago.
that whole Ponzi scheme thing. And the last 4 years you've been at home, even though you're the one of the most traitorous things in the history of fraud in this city, a city replete with plenty of fraud.
This whole administration is just very senior spring right now. Yeah. Who cares? Yeah. It doesn't matter. Everything is bad. Why not?
It's an odd use of the pardon, though. I mean, is it not?
I mean, it's not the pardon.
It's not the pardon.
Yeah, the pardon's going to his son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's different.
He works. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to do this.
Nevin.
Odd use also. Anyway.
Nevin, obviously, $930 million.
Any of us would do that for our son.
I don't know if my dad would.
Any of us would do that for our son.
I do it for Tua.
$930 million. That's bad, right? But like,
but Miami standards, yeah.
I was gonna say, but like, if Hurricanes fans are being honest, like, he was good for the program.
Any pub? Good pub.
I mean, is he not? I mean, he's good for the program.
The idea, that's a good moral question, just to everyone in the audience. No matter how awful your son, would you pardon him? I'm just curious.
I think my dad would teach me a lesson. He'd be like, hey, shouldn't have done all that fraud. I want you to sit and think about what you've done. See you in 20 years.
Shouldn't have done all that
it's my
fraud.
last chance.
Shouldn't have done all that blow. Shouldn't have done any of that. Like, what are you doing? No, Dad, pardon at the end. With that one last power given to you by privilege. Yeah, you're above the law, kid.
Pardon the interruption.
PTI.
They swung you by the ankles at me to defeat me with their own Fox network. And at the end, before the grave, as I lose my mind, I will pardon you. You disappointment forever.
So you welcome him back, right? I mean,
But yes,
this school
you
brought in
pardon
John
him.
Ruiz.
But
Like,
you
you're
par-
fine. Who
Yes,
cares?
these are all-
Life wallet. What is that? I don't know. I'm not going to ask any more questions.
So hold on. I want you guys. So you, as I try to figure out how to give my Heisman vote over to Lucy and Jessica, I can't help but see the disappointment in their eyes that Dan Le Batard, alleged journalist, voted for Cam Ward.
One of 6.
You're disappointed by me.
I don't think anyone was disappointed. I think when we saw the 6, everybody knew.
Yeah, we all
we
knew.
definitely knew who it was.
Does
think there was
Poppy
any
still have his
question.
vote? Because Billy texted us. I was like, oh, yeah, that was definitely Dan. And the second of the 6 was Poppy. We got to figure out who the other 4 are. Barry Jackson, does he have a vote?
Does Greg
Tim
have
Reynolds?
a vote?
Tim Reynolds, yeah, probably.
My father gave back his vote. Otherwise, I was mad at him for doing it. Otherwise, we'd have 2 votes. Otherwise, I could just give the vote to both of you, and then you could just vote because you think I have, in one of the closest votes ever, Meadowlark Media represented your thought process on what this voting should have been in a way that was biased. It was homerific. It was not. This Cam Ward would have finished a bronze medalist for the both of you. If that.
Well, you also told us like a month ago I voted for him.
No,
with my first place
I
ballot, it's like, there's still 4 games to go. What are
I
we
will
doing?
lose my vote if I said that publicly.
Oh, no, it didn't happen
Let's not
publicly.
find that.
Never
Yes,
happened.
thank you.
I
don't think that
misunderstood. Manny Navarro probably voted for Cam Ward, right?
No doubt.
If we were to guess.
It's like voting for Jill Stein. Like, what did you accomplish?
My
It's
vote,
for the next ballot, you know.
my
There's a
vote,
third party
my
in
vote
there.
was wasted. Do we have a song here? I want to talk for just a second because something gets overshadowed in the noise of the last 2 seasons about college football and where it is that Colorado is an overwhelming success, even if it doesn't end up in a playoff run. Let's transition here with a transfer portal song, please.
Old Mr. Oil is soon gonna spoil the best college players from across the land. Everybody's waiting for the man with the bag, 'cause the portal is opened again. Don't care if you're still playing, and no, you're not staying unless they start putting more money in your hand. Everybody's waiting for the man with the bag, 'cause the portal is here again. They'll be here watching all the games that you played through the year. You'll get yours if you've played every game you should, even kinda good. So make this December the one you'll remember, the best and the richest that you ever did have. Everybody's waiting for the man with a bag, 'cause the portal is here again.
So why is it that I am both delighted and horrified by how much Jeremy enjoys parading around with a couple of canned hams, dancing as if he's got a top hat on about the portal? Like,
It's a bit long. I mean,
well, but here's the thing, though. I so appreciate the vulnerability of, hey, I'm going to put myself out there with song. But then he chooses that song.
It's Christmas time, Dan.
But did you guys feel the Christmas in that? Because
No.
Everybody's waiting for the man with the bag.
If you've played every game you should, even kind of good, so make
So you guys felt that didn't feel like Christmas to me. Are your Christmases different than my Christmases? Yours are cold Christmases. Help me.
It's a Christmas song. What song did you think?
literally a Christmas
What
song.
song do you
Really?
think that is?
Man with the
Everybody's
bag.
waiting for the man with the bag.
It just feels like the
It's
50s.
Santa.
Nevin Shapiro, the man with the bag.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm doing what Stugotz is doing, which is it just feels like the 50s. It's not a winter time. It's the time of my
You
grandparents.
just clearly don't know the song.
Yes.
I think they celebrated Christmas in the 50s.
Are your Christmas feelings, Lucy and Jessica, you are in the middle of the holiday season. You're surrounded by Christmas fare. Does it feel like Christmas to you in Miami, given that it's 69 degrees on most days?
No. Except for it feels like Christmas in here. We got decorations.
Yeah, it's your birthday.
Cookies. I made cookies.
And they're really good.
I made lots of Christmas
Really,
cookies.
really good.
I made 6 different types of Christmas cookies. I made Italian rainbow cookies.
Wow.
I made lemon ricotta cookies. I made these tahini butterscotch sesame bars with chocolate. I made pistachio thumbprints. I made homemade Pocky.
Are they decorated for Christmas? Because none of those sound like Christmas cookies to me.
They're all Christmas cookies. They're all out there.
But they just have Christmas
They're
like
green and
themes?
red. Go
got
look.
it.
Oh, I
No
made
gingerbread?
I made gingerbread latte cookies.
Oh.
That was a late addition to the Christmas cookie box.
I do not believe that there is anything more criminally underappreciated at Meadowlark Media than Jessica and those desserts made with the finest of things.
A little too healthy.
During Christmas season. A little too healthy, but don't taste healthy.
No, they taste good.
They're not healthy.
That's the important thing.
I need more gluten with my cookies.
They're not healthy.
I'd know how they
gluten.
taste if Jason would stop eating them. I mean, that's for sure.
So we're back to this again?
Yeah. And by the way, it's not a Christmas song. If you have to tell me it's a Christmas song, not a Christmas song. Listen, I'm telling you, when I hear Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I know it's a Christmas song. When
Okay,
I hear
Stugotz.
Frosty, I know it's a Christmas song. When I hear Silent Nights, I know Christmas song.
Play the beginning of that again without the vocal, and tell me that doesn't sound like a Christmas song.
No.
Are you kidding?
No.
It sounds like a playful sort of sensual Santa from the 50s.
Oh, what? Sensual Santa.
Anyway, he was
15-yard penalty.
He was throwing his hip out as Santa's coming in. Look,
Santa's what?
Santa's
Super Bowl
feeling.
what?
Doing what?
Santa's feeling himself. Yes, Super Bowl licks.
Old.
Santa's doing what?
Santa's coming out of.
Old.
Santa's coming
That's the problem. You're not fixing it.
out of his house, and he's throwing a hip over, like he's starting to dance. If you're a man, you're imagining Jeremy in a Santa hat, are you not? He's got a microphone, he's maximum cheesing it up on Christmas. He's parading down a walkway coming out of his house, singing in a camera as Santa, and he's throwing out a hip, and it's a little sensual. It's a confident hip from a sensual Santa.
Should we film the music video or?
Oh, Jesus.
There it is. There he is.
Oh.
There it is.
He's got a cane of some sort.
Super Bowl licks right there. There it is.
Can you guys just admit your Christmas song knowledge isn't that deep? That's all it is.
Yes. It's just hard to admit. But yes.
Or to praise me for anything.
Yes. Also agreed. But those two ignorances on my part make me not like the song. So now where are we?
It's not a Christmas song.
Well, and then it makes me
It's a show tune.
Then it makes me rush at the song with criticism. Makes me rush at the song with criticism because I didn't get it. I didn't get my own show. I didn't get my own show because Jeremy thinks this.
Can we play Frosty the Snowman? I want you guys to hear.
That's a Christmas
That's a
song.
That's a Christmas
you want me to make that
song.
cover about Scott Frost? Because
That's when we could say
Scott
Merry
Frost
Christmas.
is back. You want me to run out? I'll go
Yeah,
do it.
go,
Scott
go,
Frost
go,
is back.
go,
Frosty's
go.
snowman.
Yeah,
All right, I'll be
okay.
back.
All right, get out of here. Good. That's how you do a Christmas song.
Thank you.
Jesus.
What's this?
Learn a little something around here.
It's not moving.
I'm not sure, Stugotz, how you feel about what I'm about to say, because I think at this point in my life, I don't think that I should spend so much time scared of technology that when I go outside on my balcony and I see in what look to be like 30-mile-an-hour winds, it's super windy out there, I see a drone show where all of these different drones become all of these amazing Christmas things in the sky. And every once in a while, a drone flies off in a direction and crashes in the ocean or falls on the sand. But largely, what I'm witnessing in front of me is a bunch of machinery that I cannot believe is coordinated like this in normal winds, but also is able to withstand 30-mile-an-hour winds to do this ridiculous technological dance that in some way, shape, or form, I think will have lasers one day to control me. And so I can't just enjoy the show because in New Jersey, drones are doing evil things, because I don't trust the billionaires. I don't trust...
Allegedly.
Well, we don't know what they're doing.
They're not doing anything. I think that part's confirmed. Not the drones haven't hurt anybody.
Right.
But there are apparently drones in the sky in New Jersey and New York that
And Boston.
and like northeast places where the people on the ground are like, whoa, what is this? These are UFOs. And then the government's like, no, these are probably just aircraft, or like maybe there are some drones, but they're not like foreign drones that are gonna like kill people, which is what some people think they are.
I watched the news this morning and they were talking about it, and it was so funny because they had the reporter go on and be like, do not shoot the drones with your guns. That's a really bad idea. You might shoot a plane. You might shoot the drone down. It could hurt somebody. And it was just them for like 30 seconds being like, don't shoot the drones with your guns, everybody.
I love that song, how it turned into song by the end as a both a parental warning and don't shoot the drones. But you guys do understand the fear, instead of just being awed by what it is that I'm watching, how it is that I get to, dear God, I saw in Ukraine and during a Russia war, I'm introduced to drone technology. I don't understand how it is that Russia hasn't already won that war. That all seems terribly horrific. But, there's video footage of a couple of Russian soldiers, and there's just a drone over them. And now they are dead because I just saw 2 soldiers killed in Russia because drones can do that now.
Can't you just enjoy a Santa Claus shaped drone show? Like what is happening that you see this and you're like, Russia, drones.
What'd they make over your
Dead.
house?
Yeah, what did they make?
Like an elf sipping
how'd they make a
cocoa?
tree exactly? It's fun.
They made an elf surfing on a surfboard.
Oh, that's fun. I get
What?
it. 'Cause it's over the ocean.
A surfing elf?
They had the wave and everything. I'm like, how? They had obviously, the snowman. They throw in a snowman for you, a Santa Claus, a Feliz Navidad.
It's fun, Dan.
Misspelled.
Just focus on that.
How'd they spell it?
Felicidades.
That's fine.
It wasn't spelled right.
Yeah.
Drone this, drone that. Enough about Virginia Tech football.
That was a reach.
Well, we drone on Mondays about all manner of football. Can I get to the interesting transfer portal stuff? Because we have we've been obsessed with football here for a couple of months and college football, and we skip past National Signing Day, but all of a sudden we're the show that's consuming 16, 17, 18, 19 year olds and where their free agency is.
It's wearing on me. All of it. Football
Lucy,
never stops.
Lucy
it
too.
hurts.
Lucy, well, you say it hurts.
Yeah.
I think much. There are 2 things I think are criminally underappreciated around here. First, Jessica's cookies, or Jessica's baking. Second is people think Lucy's just fooling around on the weekends, and she is battering the country, going from party to party, dragging Rose with her, getting pepper sprayed. Her body hurts. She hasn't had – how many straight days did you work, Lucy?
Like, in what, forever?
How many?
I don't know. I got to tell you, brain cells, they're at an all-time low right now.
That's what I'm saying.
We would, during the season, especially when I had to be in Miami, I would be working, 16, 17 straight days. Because what a lot of people don't realize is I'm doing all the pre-planning for this stuff. So all the video ideas and stuff, I do have people to help me with that, but that all is my thing. I type everything up. I'm incredibly organized. It's a ton of work. And then there's so much involved with travel and all this stuff. And this is my 16th straight week on the road. I did go on vacation the week before, so actually technically 17, but that doesn't count because I was just doing stuff for funsies. But it wears on your body. I'm a little bit tired. My tummy hurts a lot, and I'm really, really tired. And I'm so tired.
Well, you had a bye week, though. I mean,
yeah, but then I had to come here.
All right.
I thought I had a bye week, and it turned out I didn't.
Here off the bye, huh?
All right. So this is where Meadowlark Media needs to do better in general. And I am now going to ask Billy and all of the resources of Meadowlark Media to gather behind me because
And Billy, though.
Well, all of us. I need everyone here's help. Jeremy's just left, okay?
Let me write this down.
Yes, please.
important.
I need my army behind me. Jeremy's got his Scott Frost song. He's gone to prepare that because now he wants to serenade us with Christmas carols that Stugotz and I don't readily identify as Christmas carols.
Is it a Christmas carol if it's just to the tune of a Christmas carol? Because nothing about that song was actually Christmas.
Yeah, the transfer portal happens during Christmas time.
But
it's like Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
But Jessica's saying that is a Christmas song. I don't care. It doesn't resonate for me as a Christmas song. But what I need the army behind me on is the following. Stugotz walked in on me the other day. It was God.
Super Bowl licks.
Well, it feels like he walked in on me naked. It did because of how vulnerable I was. So, yes, Super Bowl licks. Thank you, Billy. Because I was so vulnerable because he's walking in and I'm leaving a message, okay? I'm leaving a message because I'm trying to get Lucy a credential for a game. And Stugotz is seeing me have to call a sports information director and leave an old-fashioned message. Because we're a guerrilla outfit. We're a pirate ship now. Like Meadowlark Media we stream on Max. The college football is streaming on Max. We're on Peacock. I mean, we're on Sirius XM. But she's not being treated like she's a legitimate media member. So I have to make a call so that she can have the credential access. And the question I want to ask you all is, should we bring down the full weight of Ricky Williams on the Texas athletic program to get us media credentials because Lucy needs to get into a playoff game? Should we have Ricky Williams brought in as our muscle to like, hey, you know what? I gave my body to this school. Can we get a credential for Meadowlark Media?
I don't believe we should threaten anybody. No, threats are not. The people at Texas have been very, very kind. I wish they wanted me there, but they have been very, very kind. And the thing about me, I know they may not think I'm a professional media member, but look at the way I'm handling this. Yeah. Freaking professional.
Right. I told Lucy, Dan, if you fail, then I will call Major Applewhite. I mean, I did. I told her that. I have his number. I will call him. I've called him before. I will call him again. Well, also, I suggest perhaps Ricky Williams and Chris Sims, who was a quarterback at Texas, except I'm not certain anyone at Texas likes Chris Sims. That's a problem.
No, they hated him.
Yeah, they don't like him.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable.
Yeah.
I love Texas, personally. I love them so much. Horns up forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been writing all this down, and I'm wondering what my role is.
Right. What is Billy doing here?
Right. Just out of curiosity.
Because you needed Billy, the weight, everyone behind you. Right.
What I need is for our group to decide how we should handle the use of Ricky Williams to get where. Tell me when the game is, where it is, and what needs to be done, you believe, that we should do to now get credentials when I'm not getting my phone calls returned, and it's humbling. It's humbling to not get your phone call returned.
Well, this is what I'm going to do to help out. I'm going to figure out when and where the game is, and it's in Texas at 4 o'clock on Saturday, and now I'm going to pass the baton.
Have you
I didn't
tried
know that. Thank you.
calling a Manning?
Wow.
They may have like a family section. You may be able to get a ticket from a Manning, Lucy.
What is the highest up we can go? Because Skipper calling conference commissioners has not worked. We have tried that, and it has not worked.
Have you said please yet?
I said please and was kind, and I used my manners.
All right.
And Texas was very nice. I do not want to shit all over Texas.
No,
they're just doing their job. They have been nice to work with. Some schools, they just say no. and they don't say anything, and I take it as no, I hate you, and then that really hurts my feelings. But Texas didn't say they hated me.
But we still are a bit of an underdog here, an upstart media outfit, and I do believe that the way you have battered your body in pursuit of covering football well over the last 2 years makes you someone who deserves to be credentialed to cover these games. You have earned it. It's not no one's giving you any gifts here.
Does anyone know Matthew McConaughey?
Wow.
Do we know him
That's
at all?
a good one. Yeah.
Do you know him, Dan?
Dabo was very excited about the prospect of meeting him at the game on Saturday.
He could pull some strings, I think. I don't have his number on me, just his email, but
I think I figured something out. I've been typing away here on the old interwebs, Dan, and I think I figured something out. I know how to get Lucy into this game. Download the Game Time app. You create an account,
Love
use
that
code
idea.
Dan for $20 for your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time?
You just go right there. You go to gametime.co on the internet, and then you just scroll around and say, oh, Texas football, and then boom, it pops up, and you can even choose where you're sitting. Crazy.
Fan experience is better than the press box too, right? I mean, if we can
For
get you in there.
sure. Unless it's really cold out.
No, but press box and on the field are different things, right? Lucy has gotten a lot. That's where she got pepper sprayed. That's where the real action is. In fact, shouldn't someone who's been recently in the vicinity of being pepper sprayed have earned their combat?
Yep.
Well, she hasn't pepper sprayed there, though.
Rose should go.
Rose can't go. She's out of town.
Oh. Wait, does Taylor have Mac Brown's number? He probably has Texas connections. Taylor!
I'm trying to make connections here, Dan. Neil deGrasse Tyson went to Texas. You have his number, right?
He's supposed to be on with us at some point soon. Maybe we'll badger him on air to see if he can help us. Let's see if we can get a crusade going for Lucy in order to do this. You mentioned Taylor. I saw, and I don't know what to do with this, Chris Cody. I don't know if you also saw it, but in a way that was a little bit aggressive, and I thought very gently reprimanded by Jessica in the eating area. Billy cornered Taylor, had him cornered around the cookies, the delicious, delicious cookies where everyone is gathered, and said to him, "You didn't break that story. You did." He was like, he was bullying him. He was all around him. He was like, you didn't, that story, just because you whispered in the corner of the office, that's not really breaking a story. Just because everyone here knew it, that you knew it, that's not breaking a story when you break the news, but you keep it to yourself.
Well, the actual conversation, how do you guys have a photo of this happening? This is insane.
They do.
What am I doing?
They immediately have a photo. Look at Lewis.
Lewis
Can't be
posing?
trusted. Lewis can't be trusted. He is asking people.
What's Samson doing?
Kugler is once again secret eating.
Seating.
Did someone just fart next to Jess?
What happened in that photo is I asked Taylor, I said, how did you end up on Feinbaum?
Damn it, it was me.
I'm
I
taking
farted.
notes. I am taking notes in the eating area there of the fact that Billy has cornered Taylor. And that Jessica is making the face that someone farted and that Lewis can't be trusted.
Look at you reporting.
Coog's just doing dishes.
Getting back to your roots.
He's not doing dishes. He's secret eating.
Jess's cookies were delish, by the way.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
He has felt, Cougs feel shame the way Jason does that the talent has noticed the way they've eaten.
Which one was your favorite, Billy?
I think, the gingerbread, and then I had one that was like 3 different layers, and I didn't know what it was. I was going to ask
The
you.
rainbow cookies.
Maybe.
The
It has
red, white,
chocolate
and
on the
green
top.
ones?
No, this one has chocolate on the top.
Oh, those are the butterscotch tahini sesame bars.
Delish. You should try some, Dan.
Billy, why would you corner Taylor and badger him with "you didn't break that story"?
Well, because the guy is on Feinbaum, and I said, how did you get on Feinbaum? And he's like, whoa, whatever he was saying. I don't know. I wasn't listening. And the thing is that I don't understand is he's always in the corner, and he's always has this insider information, but he's like, but you can't say anything. And like everything is like a secret to him, and he doesn't go out on a limb and report these things. I'm not doubting that he didn't have the information, but he was actively telling everyone, you can't mention it, you can't say anything about this,
Billy.
and refused to go on record saying anything
Billy.
until the news came out, and he's like, I had that.
Billy.
And then he's taking a victory lap. It's like, no, Ollie Connolly had this information.
That's right.
And you dismissed him because he's British, which is a hate crime, Taylor. Not to make this about hate crimes right now, but Taylor hate crimed Ollie.
Wait a second.
And then he said, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's wrong.
That's
He's
actually
wrong.
how he talks.
And then, boom, he was exactly right all this time. And we almost had him on God Bless Football the same day that Taylor was on with Feinbaum, but Stugotz canceled at the last minute.
But
So
correct
we
me
told
if I'm wrong.
Ollie, maybe next week.
Yeah.
But it's probably not going to happen.
Ollie
Let's be
also
real.
reported there was a 400-page manifesto, which apparently was not true.
I'm still not certain on that situation.
Taylor, was it true?
Taylor doesn't know. He can't tell you anything until after it happens.
Waving a finger, not true.
Until after it happens.
Let me explain something to everyone who is actively in our community yelling, "Less Taylor." Taylor, you're doing journalism all wrong. You're doing the insider stuff all wrong. You don't get to be the insider who carves the lane of, I've got all the news, but I never actually risk saying it out loud, only to a couple of people so that I can say afterward that I had all the news.
It stays inside. You can't do that.
That is not, you got to put it on the outside or it stays on the inside. You cannot live in both places, not even around here.
I'm trying to help him. I know that you guys don't see it this way, but I think of Taylor much like Tua. Stugotz thinks of Tua as a son. I think of Taylor as a son to me.
Same.
Taylor's like my work son. So I see Taylor and I'm like, you know what, Taylor? We need to kind of, let's go out there.
Would
let's
you pardon
put ourselves
him?
out there.
He works hard.
Billy, this is
Does
so
he?
yeah, Billy, this is so funny. Last week I was saying, are you confident enough in your sources to just put the news out there?
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Because he's telling us, I talked to 3 different people, and it's like, dude, you have all the information. Put it out there. He's like, I can't say it.
But then,
Can't
but then
put it
they
out there.
did.
No, then Ollie did.
Hey,
and then
Taylor,
Taylor's like,
I
knew
got
it.
advice. Worst case, you're wrong. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah, no one even cares
No
anymore.
one
It's
cares.
2024.
Yes. Yeah, just put it
Integrity
out
means
there.
nothing.
The
Yes.
Slow Report hasn't even posted it yet. So.
That's true, so
It's
we
a
haven't
yak.
confirmed if it's true or not.
Now, Dan, do you know who Ollie is, by the way? Do you know his connection to Billy?
I do not.
He voted him as, one of the top 10 NFL insiders.
Yeah, Ollie's the one that put us on that list, so I have to stay on Ollie's good side here, Dan, if we're going to be honest with you. Taylor also was telling me, and I can't say this because, like anything else that Taylor has that's news, we can't report it to anyone until after it happens. He's like, I'm working on a big addition to the VIPs. This is an NFL caliber guy. And I'm like, and what is he doing? He's going to come on with us every week. I go, where? I don't know. Me and Thomas will figure it out.
Such a good impression.
He's
It's a
going
good
to
fake-
endorse me.
It is. Wait a minute.
He's going to endorse me, and I'm going to endorse him. And I'm like, what does you endorsing Sam Darnold do for anyone? He's like, I can't say.
Less Taylor, less real Taylor, more fake Taylor. More fake Taylor, because that is a good fake Taylor. I can't report anything. I'm not confident enough to report anything. I'm going to whisper it in the shadows.
No,
it's
but-
not going to actually be news because it's only going to be you and me talking.
They did report, Inside Carolina did report that the deal was being finalized before ESPN said that the deal was being
And
finalized.
after Ollie, yeah. Ollie said it was a done deal, and then he told us about a manifesto that maybe existed, maybe didn't, but it was fun.
Well, the manifesto piece is crucial. Was there a manifesto or was there no manifesto?
Jessica, you were
Wow.
defending Taylor. You were trying, before you made the fart face, you were trying to defend Taylor
mean in the kitchen?
from Billy's in the eating area.
Before
yes.
Chris farted. Well, because Billy was like, "Oh, if Taylor can get on Feinbaum, then like, what is the what
I
is
was
the point of
parenting.
Feinbaum?" And
If we're being real, I watched it. Feinbaum punted on it after like 3 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I was watching it, and I'm like, Taylor, you're in a television studio. Why are you joining on Zoom?
well, he probably didn't want to make Jason do a bunch of extra
Well, he was
work.
eating. We know that.
Classic Jason.
Here's an important part to the Taylor, and you can only see this on video. On Taylor, when you're saying something, you just got to go like this. You just go like this. You throw out your hands, and you push yourself back a little bit off the wall. And you just make a declarative statement like this.
Okay,
But
it's
then you
good.
can't say
That's
anything.
Did you see
good.
who the Yankees signed?
Keep working on that fake Taylor.
Taylor.
It's not good enough that I liked your audio version. Now you've got a video version as well. Keep working on all of them. I'd like as many Taylors as you got. But
He's
let me,
mad at us.
let me-
I thought his Feinbaum appearance was great.
I thought it was great. He looked great. Big
The
smile.
lighting was a little
Lighting was.
Yeah,
dark, but
right.
it's okay.
you
Taylor's
got,
got a
Good job,
good smile,
Taylor.
yeah.
you
Good job,
guys
Taylor.
are telling me that Taylor, on
hates
behalf of Meadowlark Media,
help
stumbles
it.
his way
on
onto
behalf of Inside Carolina, if we're going to be honest, which is another issue.
Just-
but
From this studio.
for
I
another
want,
day.
I want to analyze this for a second.
Stop sharing the news.
Lucy and Rose are out here getting pepper sprayed. Jessica's flying all over the country to be a part of near the Notre Dame experience. Taylor, we send to events where big New York things lose. He comes back and he gets on Feinbaum before the people around here. Mike Ryan has bought his way into the athletic program of the University of Miami and its insider information chain. And Billy is a proud Golden Panther voice for college
Pause
football.
up.
How is it that Taylor's the first one to arrive on Feinbaum from around here as a college basketball, college
broke
football?
real news.
Said he broke news.
He broke
Right.
real legit Bill Belichick going to North Carolina. Biggest college football story of the year, Dan.
Billy is saying that they had Taylor on for 2 minutes, and then Paul's like, "Why'd they get me this bozo? Run him off the air. Like, why is he here? Just to tell me
I
that
didn't
he
say that.
Well, you
I said
Lucy
that
said he
part.
was.
Chris
opposed.
said that.
Oh, Chris said it.
I watched it, and it was like a 4-minute interview. Like, maybe that was the plan.
So a 4-minute interview because he whispered in the corner office that Belichick was going to North Carolina and told us not to tell anybody.
he just started ripping
No,
Schefter.
because he called out Schefter, and they said, "Oh, we got to get this off. Like, we can't do this to one of our
Yes.
partners."
But
There
I
was
thought
an
Paul,
alarm.
But I thought Paul agreed with Taylor, saying, I'm not shocked that ESPN is taking credit for
was-
something that's not their report.
He was being a little condescending about it.
No,
Was he?
Paul's a man of the people.
He
Like,
is,
Paul,
yes.
Paul was siding with Taylor.
Yeah.
But he did it with a smirk. I wasn't buying Paul.
Really?
Huh.
He was being a little condescending.
Why is Taylor on this show before any of our actual experts? You don't get
me
to-
on Feinbaum would be pretty useless. I have to admit.
What would you do on? Let's
Why
pitch.
would
Let's
Paul
pitch
have any
it.
of us on?
Why would you be on Feinbaum, Chris? What would you
I
be
wouldn't.
breaking there?
That's what I'm telling Dan.
It's the kind of self-awareness from Chris that
I'm willing to
love.
go. I'm willing to go.
The only people are Luce and Jesse. I mean, that's it.
I think it's a social.
Our makeup
experience.
artist.
Jesse.
I think-
Luce and Jesse. Football's getting to me, man. I'm tired.
You just called Jessica Jessie.
Lucy loose.
I called Lucy Luce.
Okay.
I like that actually.
Luce
I think
Lucy.
It's endearing.
Yeah.
I don't like Loose Lucy.
No,
That's a good
yeah.
song.
No,
You know
I
the
know
song
it's a
I'm
good
talking
song.
about.
I know it's a good song, but there are connotations with that nickname that I don't necessarily love.
Luce.
Lucy.
Super Bowl licks.
Stugotz, it can happen. I understand. It's been
Football.
a long season. His body hurts. He's gotten in here very early for God Bless Football on Monday. And sometimes we run him so hard out of the rodeo gate after a Sunday where he's traveled after lacrosse that he runs from that studio into this studio. By the time we get to right about here,
Yeah.
he's flat delirious. And so it becomes
My man.
It becomes even lazier casual chummery with Luce and Jesse. And I'm going to just try to connect, but this is the worst version of me. I'm really tired. It's the holidays. I've been crawling toward these next 2 weeks.
How do we get Chris Cody on the Feinbaum show?
I'm in.
This should be our mission. I mean, for real.
Well, let's both of these. Let's get Texas. We need a credential. Tell me how I put pressure on Texas. Get me some names. Get me some information. I want our audience to just explain to Texas that we're a legitimate media operation that is covering college football. And then we'll put Chris Cody on Feinbaum to prove it.
But most media companies don't threaten the entities to get access. That
I
might
really
be
don't
our
want us to
problem.
threaten them.
Yeah.
Lucy, if you change your mind, you want to go to the Notre Dame game, I'm pretty sure I could get you a credential that way. But my tickets are accounted for. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not on Game Time though. GameTime.co, Lucy. You want to get there? You
But
can
the
get games.
secondary market, the tickets are so expensive for that game. It's going to be 20 degrees. People are going to spend thousands of dollars to sit there in snow and 20. I'm worried about the toll road. Whiteout conditions on the
Toad.
toll road?
I'm worried about your dad.
Yes.
Are you going as a family? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Jessica, this is the price of fandom that the television experience is better than the stadium experience in winter football weather. Who the hell wants to be in
I'm
winter?
excited. I got a new winter coat.
You found one?
I did find one.
Where? Burlington?
I'll do a fit check on Friday.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
send you a video, Lucy.
Should we
Love a
plan
good
for
check.
what if Saturday doesn't happen? Like we have Monday
No,
bowl
you
games.
can't say
Like
that.
the Myrtle Beach Bowl, is that fine? The famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
I cannot go to Myrtle Beach.
Ooh, how about the Hawaii
Ooh,
Bowl?
Northern Illinois is playing in the Potato Bowl. Revenge game for me.
They do the French fry dump.
Yeah.
Tradition.
Oh, wow.
Did you guys see the Pop-Tart Trophy is a working toaster this year? That's crazy.
That's awesome.
The Pop-Tart Bowl trophy might be the best trophy
Oh,
in
by
all
far.
of sports.
They hired like GE engineers to make it an actual toaster. It's ridiculous. This is the kind of energy we need from bowl sponsors.
And they ripped it out of like an actual Pop-Tart whatever aluminum casing also. These people get it. The Pop-Tart Bowl
Yes.
people get it.
Yes, they get it.
Do they get it more than the mayonnaise bowl people?
No,
I
not
think
for
it's
me.
equal.
I think so.
I think it's equal.
Yeah.
They
but,
equally get it.
But Pop Tart keeps like upping the price every year. Because it started off just, oh, cool, Pop-Tart Bowl, hell yeah. Then it was, okay, you can eat the mascot. There's a live mascot.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Then it was like, oh my God, we're going to make the trophy into a toaster. I don't want to look ahead, but what are they going to do next year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, an actual resurrection of a dead body.
You guys have not made enough fun of the idea that Mike Ryan's University of Miami, led in the voting at Heisman by Homer Dan Le Batard, just finished a football season of great acclaim where we can argue it was the best offense in UM history and he was the best statistical quarterback in UM history, and it ends with a fart noise at a bowl for Pop-Tart.
No, it's a great bowl, Dan. It's one of the most prestigious bowls. I'd say that, like, outside of the playoff, that's probably like the 5th bowl, right?
I'd rather win that bowl than lose in the first round of the playoffs.
That's a great point.
Yes.
You get that trophy.
That's ridiculous.
Do you keep that? You keep that trophy, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think
it's
so.
not like the
So, Dan, there's like premier bowls that the conferences try to get like their best teams into, and the Pop-Tart Bowl is one of the ACC tie-in premier bowls. So
still one of the craziest things Stugotz has ever said.
And you're playing a team, Iowa State, that was also like one game away from making the playoff. These are two like playoff bubble teams. It should be a great game if everyone decides to play, which it sounds like Cam Ward is playing. They keep asking him, and he's like, I already said yes, I'm playing.
I saw Restrepo's thinking about it. He has to talk to his representatives.
What do you have to think about? Your days of playing football are numbered. Like, play all the football you can.
No, he's projected to be like a 4th or 5th rounder, I think.
Okay, punt returner.
Whoa.
Can I say
is that
what,
his name?
Can I say
Wow.
what
Wait a minute.
Listen, can I just say real quick before one, happy birthday, Dan. We're just gonna move on.
Happy
That's what I said.
birthday! Woo!
You know what UM and UM fans' gripes should be? Always having to play at Camping World Stadium for their bowl games. What a horrific stadium. I love Orlando, and God bless them for trying to make that stadium nice. But that stadium, Camping World Stadium, what a drag if you have to play a bowl game there. And every single year, UM finds himself at a bowl game there. It's always a different one, but it's always a bowl game at Camping World Stadium somehow.
So over the years, Billy has gotten really good at a number of different things.
Thank you.
And one of them is rolling a grenade out here and then running away from it, okay? And just because we're not in the local hour anymore, I will not have you just roll out here, Restrepo, punt returner, and then run into the shadows.
He's right.
Said happy birthday.
Days are numbered.
With distracting talk when you just said of the University of Miami's most prolific receiver ever, you put him in the Berrios, the Braxton Berrios cache.
That's not fair.
Of possession receiver in the NFL, that's not big enough to play in the league. That's not physically big enough to play in the NFL. That's what you're doing to him. You're saying he's only Braxton Berrios. He will be no better than that. The most prolific receiver in the history of the University of Miami. That's what you're saying.
I didn't say any of that. I said happy birthday, and then I said, why do they have to play at the Camping World Stadium?
No, you're right that it does seem like they play there a lot, but last year they did play actually somewhere else. They played at the Pinstripe Bowl. That was the game they lost to Rutgers. So that one wasn't in Orlando.
But it does feel, Billy's so right that they all feel like they're at that stadium.
It does. Well, okay. I thought we were going to talk about the other thing. Never mind. It does.
What happened there?
Braxton Berrios vibes, right? No?
Did you vote for him for the Heisman?
Restrepo, Dan? Is that what you had him on your ballot? Is that
6th, 5th? What number?
They only vote for 3. There's no 4th vote.
Oh, so 3rd.
Would have been
put him in there?
I was struggling. Do I get Travis Hunter there at 3rd, or do I put Restrepo in there? Do I give it to one of the Hispanic names at the University of Miami instead?
But Billy is right. That guy's not going to be a great receiver in the NFL. There's no way. I mean,
how can you know that Puka Nacua was like what, a 5th round pick, 4th round pick?
I mean, because I know it's
okay.
I don't know how sometimes to measure quick. I think we all know what size in the NFL looks like, and that doesn't look like CeeDee Lamb. I understand if we're going to do this
Devontae Adams.
If we're going to do this based on appearances, then Restrepo probably would have never topped Michael Irvin and Andre Johnson and all the other number 1 picks the University of Miami has had at wide receiver, who also played with great quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, is you can credit it to Cam Ward partially, right? And also, like, if you make the NFL, like, don't let Billy Gilt bring you down. Why would you listen to anything I say? Like, Braxton Berrios is a great
you're a
life.
college football insider who could
Alex
be
Earl.
on Feinbaum along with Lucy and Jessica, but not Chris Cody. Chris Cody could not be on Feinbaum. That would be ridiculous.
What would you talk about,
We're
Chris?
still finding my lane. We're going to find one.
You could talk about the slow report.
Stadium food or something, you know? I'll think of something.
He's not going to have you on for that, though.
You can, here's the thing.
Hello, this is Chris Cody from the Dan Le Batard Show. That's what he
start
did.
like
He was
that.
a little dismissive, by the way, in introducing Taylor.
He wants to talk about the walking tacos at the University of Texas Stadium.
He comes to us from inside Carolina and also does some stuff for the Le Batard Show.
Dismissive of us in general. Well, we're a fading media entity.
Kind of sounds like Skipper.
It was.
I do believe he'd be a great entity for us. Petered out there.
Because you heard me say fading media entity because I was taking it back to trying to feud with Texas over Lucy's dead body.
Let's call it maybe live on air, Texas. That'll work.
Okay, let's do that. I want to talk about.
No.
Do not.
I want to talk about what happened, Stugotz.
Please do.
With Aaron Judge's drop to baseball in the World Series in a second because I think it's funny.
Huh.
But can I get an appraisal from the room as Jeremy comes in, possibly with a Scott Frosty, the UCF man song?
Is that the title?
I don't know. We'll find out together.
Rolls
But
right off the tongue.
Can I get an appraisal from you guys on? Do you believe it will get any better for Deion Sanders than where it is right now, this minute? Do you believe that what he has built in 2 years, which gets two players, he gets two players, two very unique players, family to him. He gets them, both of them could have been in the Heisman Trophy room, and they made Colorado a team that only lost 3 times. And that was 2 years ago, the worst program in Division 1A for several years now.
Yeah.
So that right now, this is, agreed, a monster success. 2 years of improvement, correct?
No doubt.
And so now what, though? Because how much better does it get from here once you lose those two players? Travis Hunter, I did not see all of the players that were playing in the league, but the reason that he was able to play wide receiver and cornerback is because I saw no player while playing football who was consistently jumping higher. Like, for his size, I saw no one grabbing the football because he was jumping higher than all the other athletes on the field, more than Travis Hunter, even though he didn't look like he was bigger than anybody.
But if you're asking, will it get better for Deion at Colorado? I'm not certain. In life, of course it will. He's about to see his son be drafted in the first round.
I'm not saying life. I'm just asking you guys, what's the appraisal now of Colorado? Didn't make the playoff, but a team that we all thought was good and interesting, and 2 years of massive improvement, unquestionably massive improvement that we all assign to two players who are family and are top 5 picks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that having a player that you recruit and coach, and then transfers with you win the Heisman is just a tremendously huge accomplishment as a head coach. And then having your son, who will probably be a first-round draft pick in the NFL, I don't know how it gets better than two great players like that. One wins the Heisman, the other is like your actual son. Not only is it going to be difficult to replace that level of production, but also the family dynamic. Like these are his family. So yeah, I mean, great season. Obviously disappointing they didn't end up making the Big 12 championship game. They were close. But huge improvement from last year and two really great success stories.
But I think this is what Dan is asking. You should be able to build off of what he just did over the first 2 seasons, right? Or is this the pinnacle for Deion Sanders?
The thing that I would just simply alert everyone to the story in our midst, lest we underestimate it, because Stugotz is saying 2 great stories. No, 3 great stories.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders was laughed at when he mentioned, I should be able to coach an NFL team. I don't need to interview. You should respect that I know enough about football. I should coach NFL. Nope, you're going to have to go historically black colleges, Deion. Someone like you, a Hall of Famer, usually doesn't have to go that route on how it is that he's going to work his way up the system. But historically black colleges is where you're going to have to start. Then you're going to parlay that into Colorado. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know the history of this trophy well enough to know whether a player who has come from a historically black college like Travis Hunter has ever made it this far in the business of what is marketing and football to get to best player in the land, led by someone who's a father figure. God damn, that's a success story. Stand back and marvel at what just happened. You were a big feeding media frenzy at the beginning. Black excellence going to make it a culture war. 2 years in, he got his family to the league. Top 5 picks from a historically black college, earned all of it.
But you are left to wonder, were those the reasons Deion went to Colorado? So we can get his those two kids, as top 5 picks in the NFL draft. Like, what does he do now? I think that's a fair question to ask. What's he going to do? And if he does nothing else, that's fine.
But Stugotz, so as watching one of the best businessmen in sports that I have ever seen climb to the top of this business in 2 years to the Heisman room, when I've lived long enough to see Randy Moss is walking with a cane and cancer, and it was a big controversy when he showed up to the Heisman room with sunglasses. It wasn't received quite as nice as Travis Hunter putting on a smile when Randy Moss was trying to attack that sacred room with all of the style and swagger that comes now with what Deion brings to black excellence in 2024, loud in your face, and I'm going to overrun the Heisman room and football, and I tell you I'm great, and I'm going to show you I'm great, and who's going to deny I'm great now? The reason I ask the question is because I fear winning is so hard that it will be hard to get another 2 top 5 picks who can help you grow it that fast in 2 more years, and he should be looking to parlay this opportunity in whatever is the most explosive opportunity of Dallas Cowboys or wherever he can get into the maximum marketing game of, no, I succeeded at the college game, correct? You guys saw how hard this was, right? It doesn't go through black colleges to get here this fast. I'm in the commercials, and I got 2 of my boys, because he considers Travis Hunter family, I got him into the, like, one of them's in the big room, and the other is throwing the football out in a frozen street with neighbors and getting Giants fans excited because they don't have a quarterback.
Malik Neighbors.
Yes, thank you. Because what's his name? Because DeVito is out with a concussion now, and that's where the Giants season is. Because they're
Drew
going.
Lock looked good though.
They're going to Drew Lock
at
as their third quarterback.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Give me another Christmas song.
Gus Malzahn has just been fired. Scott Frost gonna be your coach. Now you are going for Big 12 titles. The Knights looking for their old approach. Everybody knows Nebraska was a real show. Oh, that offense was not right. UCF, it was not long ago. Undefeated seasons were in sight. Did you know that transfers are on their way?
All right, can we stop
Leaving
this?
other schools.
It's beautiful.
All right, let's stop.
I mean,
this.
Frosty would have been better, but it's beautiful, Dan.
That was good.
Not Frosty, though.
Quarterback will soon arrive to see if Scott Frost really knows how to thrive.
The only reason that I tried to get out of that, it was not to bully poor Jeremy.
It started with Gus Malzahn.
Jeremy is doing a vulnerable thing. It is hard. The reason I tried to get out of that quickly is because he whimpered at the start of that song, and only my headset did my best. And so I was trying to help Jeremy there because he did the most vulnerable thing, which is I'm going to throw myself in the song and the expectation of song being good. Oh, it's not as good as I wanted it to be. I did my best.
That's right. Do a better one.
Yeah, go do a better one.
Yeah.
All right.